So we bought, you know what? That's a lie. We didn't buy this. This came with our house, the Whirlpool Cabro Platinum, right? And this is a washing machine, and it's an HE washing machine. And I started working on it. I took it apart, and the reason I did was because every time we wash our clothes, it smelled like mildew and fungus, right? Afterwards, and our clothes are beginning to smell really bad. So I took it apart to clean it out. And if you guys are having the same issue, I'm going to show you how to take it apart. And it's pretty easy, not really that complicated as far as the backing goes. There's a bunch of these little screws here, right there, just like that. And the fitting for that is it's a 1/4 inch. Let's see if I could focus in on that. It's just a 1/4 inch. One of these guys, right? So, and they go all over the place. This part, the top is a little tricky because there's this right here is different. I think it's a little bit bigger. I don't know what it is, but you don't need to take this off right here. What you do need to take off is this part right here. There's a screw here, and this slips into that, right? And what happens is as soon as you unscrew both sides, this just pushes up, and you'll have to get on the other side, and you might need some help with it because you'll need to scooch it up and then lift it and then kind of lift it off, right? And to get all this off, you'll need also to get this hose, right? This tube and a whole bunch of these connections, right? And this tube just pops into this little guy here, right? It just pops right back in there as soon as you're done, right? You take it out and take out all the connections. They're pretty simple. They just have these little locking back plates, right? And you can push with whatever you have handy. Screwdriver. I happen to use nail clippers, which also came in handy because of this. So I had to clip this to get it out. So, you just let it free and dangle. So I could already see that there's a ton of disgustingness going on in these. And this isn't new to HE at all. This is actually pretty gross stuff. HE washers are known and notorious for having really huge problems with an overabundance of fungus and mildew buildup on the bottoms and on the sides. So I'll show you more as I go, as I reveal this. So I got this top loose so I could finally get it off of there and start really digging into this machine. Immediately I see a bunch of crap all over here. Okay, and this is stuff that you can't get into from the top. You can't clean this out from the top. Things can get in, but it's really difficult to get in there and clean it off, right? Because of how this works. By the way, this lid is spring loaded. It's heavy glass and it's spring loaded because how this works, right? So this is like flush with this part right here, right? And you can't get in there to clean all this off. So that's one of the problems here, right? I decided to forego the rods for now because I noticed that these actually, this top part is clipped on with these little guys, and you just pull and it'll unclip. So I'm going to do that first, is unclip all of these. Just go around and do that. Man, this is so nasty. I can't believe this. It's so gross. Disgusting. All right. So I expected the underside to be a lot cleaner than it is. It's got just crap and all sorts of just crap all over, man. What is this? Price tag? Part tag? Look at this, man. So I hear that this is can be resolved by using non-liquid detergent. But I just don't see this as the problem. I see it because it's plastic and it's porous and it's already slimy. I could tell, this is already mildew. I could smell it from here. It's disgusting, right? So I think that's the problem. And I'm really looking forward to seeing what's below this thing here. It's already smelling really bad. No wonder our clothes stink. All right. Yeah, so here's some good design. There's this cap that sits on top here. It's all shiny, right? You remove it with a flat head, right, to get to the access screw here, or the bolt. And man, look at all that stuff under there, right? Look at all that, right? There's no gasket or anything waterproofing this at all. And this is what builds up in there, right? I don't know how it drains out, but you got to get that thing out. I haven't even measured to see what size that is. So that center bolt is a 7/16, and it is standard thread. It is not reverse thread. Okay, so you could just unscrew it like a standard bolt. Okay, it's kind of got a long ways to go, man. My fingers are disgusting. I already washed them once, and look at this. Look at that. Right, it's all up in there. So this is the underneath. Okay, the part just slips out, right? Just like if you have ever removed a steering wheel, that's what this is, you know, essentially. And there's dried on crap over here. It's just like, it's just there. Look at that. Ugh. I don't even know what it is. I'll have to get it later. So I got that off. Hopefully this just slips out, up and out. Let's try it. All right, so just as I suspected, right? On the inside, it's nice and pristine, and it looks great, right? Oh, it looks so shiny. Directly on the other side of that, though, is this crap right here, right? And this is just nasty, nasty. I don't even know what this is. This is like a new fungus, a new something, right? It's all up and down, and generally, it's right down here, which is the water level, right? General water level is right here, and right up here. This is where all the intake stuff is, right? So it's all up here, man, and it stinks so bad, right? And it's all around this thing. So I figured out that this is actually an enclosed system that you hear the water. It's in here. And the reason for that is I believe it's for a counterbalance for the spin cycle, which is actually smart. So these holes actually go directly down and through, and there's little divots down there. So that was just jammed up in there. I don't know how stuff got in there in the first place. There must have been some space. Anyways, so don't tamper with the thing on the bottom. That's a countermeasure. That's for the anti-wobble during the spin cycle. Here is what it looks like inside of here, right? And I just suspect that there's just mud and crap and just all sorts of stuff down here. So this is probably standard washing machine stuff here anyways. But one of the things I'll say is this is made out of plastic, and plastic is pretty porous, and a lot of things just like to stick to it. So if you can avoid getting any kind of fabric softener or anything that'll stick, that's meant to stick to things like fabric or just anything really. So fabric softeners do that. That's how they work, is they stick to the clothing, so they make it softer and smell better, right? So avoid that. Another thing, I don't want to take this whole thing off. I am avoiding that because there are two pumps. There's one over here that recycles the water that's already in there. It's kind of like the washing water, and then there's another one here that's the vacuum pump. It vacuums all the water out into your little thing here, and it's just heavy on the bottom. There's the heater coil. There's just a bunch of stuff down there, and I really just don't want to take this off. I'm just going to scrub and bubble this whole thing, you know, and just kind of wipe it all up and just try to sanitize it that way. One thing I forgot to mention is, so I cleaned all of it out. It's all clean now. And the thing I forgot to mention is this hose right here. And this hose is freaking nasty, okay? It is filled. I wish I got a video of how much gook there was in there. And I just had a wire, and I put a paper towel around it and just pulled it through. And I thought it was a turd coming out when I pulled it through. If you don't clean this right here, it's like you may have not have cleaned the whole entire washer, because this is recycling water, okay? It takes the water, it pumps it back up and then back into the washer. So you need to clean this thoroughly as well. All right, so I'm going to put it all back together. It's pretty simple coming back together. It should be pretty self-explanatory. I'm not going to show how to do that. All right. All right, I got it all back together, and it works amazing. Of course, you know, because I'm good at this. So full of myself. Anyways, works great. It smells great too. I could already tell the difference. I'm smelling just like fresh air coming out of there, man. It's great. One thing that I got to tell you about the inner cylinder, even though it's smooth on the inside, the outside of it is like a cheese grater. All right, so it'll take out chunks of your hand and flesh if you're not careful with it. It really will, because it's super sharp on the outside. And if you're using, if you washed it in a tub like I did, I washed it in my metal tub. I kind of scratched the enamel a little bit, so you have to be careful about how you handle it in the tub. You know, rotate it, lift it up, and then rotate it. Other than that, it works out well. It smells good, finally. So, you know, it's a good idea to clean your washer, man. You know, it didn't take too long. It took me about an hour to break it down, and then to put it all back together, it took about 10 minutes. Really, it was really quick putting it all back together. And now that I know how to do it, it's going to be a lot quicker going next time around. But I'm going to probably do this once every 2 years or so, just clean it out. So it's nice and fresh, it stays fresh. All right, thanks for watching.